Hi, James Bentley with GE Aviation's Customer Technical Education Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. And for today's GEnx Maintenance Minute, I'd like to discuss removing the TAPS 2 fuel nozzle. Specifically, we're going to be looking at how we can prevent damage to the threaded inserts that secure the fuel nozzle to the combustor diffuser nozzle on the engine. Our TAPS 2 fuel nozzles, this is actually fuel nozzle number 17. I've gone ahead and done some of the prep to get this fuel nozzle off of the CDN. I've clipped the lock wire and removed the igniter plug at this location. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and loosen up and remove the 2 bolts that secure this bracket to the adductor valve support. Okay, now that we have those 2 bolts out, we're going to go ahead and put some penetrating oil on the 4 bolts that secure the fuel nozzle to the CDN, and we're going to let that soak for approximately 2 hours. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and remove the fuel nozzle bolts. For this procedure, we actually recommend you do it in a sequence. And what we'd like to do is do 1 bolt at a time, go ahead and loosen it 1 full turn, and then do another shot of penetrating oil. And then once you've done the penetrating oil application, go ahead and snug that bolt back down and move on to the next bolt. During this procedure, the recommended tooling is going to be a T-handle, 3/8 drive extension, and 5/16 deep well socket. If access permits, we want to try to stay away from the wobble extensions or the swivel sockets. Try to stay as perpendicular to the fuel nozzle as possible. Once we've done all 4 bolts individually and they are snugged back down, we want to go ahead and give it an additional 30 minutes for the penetrating oil to soak in. So now we're actually free to just go ahead and remove the bolts. They should come out pretty easily. Okay, now that we've got our 4 FN bolts removed from the engine and fuel nozzle, we can go ahead and loosen up our fuel manifold input fittings to the fuel nozzle. Okay, now that we've got all the hardware loosened up and disconnected, we can go ahead and remove the fuel nozzle from the engine. We're actually going to disengage it from the radial mixer on the inside of the engine by gently tilting it forward. And pushing towards the fan case. You can see we're disengaged now fully from the radial mixer, and we're going to rotate 90 degrees, being careful not to damage any of the surrounding hardware, and remove it from the CDN port. Okay, now that we have the fuel nozzle out, we can go ahead and wipe off the excess penetrating oil. And we definitely want to go ahead and tape off this port while we prep the new fuel nozzle for installation. Prevent any FOD from getting down in the engine. Okay, that's going to wrap up removal of the TAPS 2 fuel nozzle from the GEnx. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this maintenance minute, and from everybody here at GE Aviation, we just want to thank you for all that you're doing in maintaining the GEnx powered fleet. Until next time.